Have you ever woken up in the morning and thought, I just don't have the same control over my life anymore? Maybe you've noticed that things feel harder than they used to. Little tasks take more effort. Decisions feel heavier, or worse, you start believing that your best days are behind you. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something important. You are not powerless. Age does not have to mean helplessness. In fact, some of the most fearless, independent, and vibrant people I know are in their 70s, 80s, and beyond. And today, I'm going to share with you 6 powerful ways to take back control of your life so you can live with confidence, joy, and yes, even fearlessness. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Easier said than done. And you're right. Change doesn't happen overnight. But here's the truth. Small shifts in how you think and act can lead to big transformations in how you feel. So whether you've been struggling with feeling dependent on others, doubting your abilities, or just missing that spark of excitement in your daily life, this video is for you. We're going to break down 6 key strategies that can help you reclaim your independence and live life on your terms. And we're starting with the very first step, one that might surprise you. 1. Reframe what control really means. Let's talk about control. Many of us think that being in control means doing everything exactly the way we used to. No help, no adjustments, no slowing down. But here's the thing. True control isn't about stubbornly holding on to the past. It's about making smart choices that keep you empowered in the present. Think about it. If you used to lift heavy boxes without a second thought, but now asking for help prevents a back injury, which option actually keeps you more independent in the long run? Exactly. Adapting doesn't mean giving up. It means staying in charge by being wise about your limits. Asterisk, one of my favorite examples is my friend Margaret. At 78, she realized she didn't need to drive at night anymore to prove she was still capable. Instead, she arranged rides with friends or used a senior-friendly taxi service when needed. And guess what? She felt more relaxed, safer, and actually enjoyed her outings more because she wasn't white-knuckling the steering wheel in the dark. That's real control. Knowing when to adjust so you stay in the driver's seat of your life, literally and figuratively. Asterisk. 2. Reconnect with what makes you feel capable. Now, here's something I want you to try today. Think of one thing, just one, that always made you feel strong, capable, and like yourself. Maybe it's gardening, cooking a family recipe, fixing things around the house, or even just taking a long walk without assistance. Got it? Good. Now here's the challenge. Do that thing this week, even if it's in a modified way. Why? Because nothing rebuilds confidence like proving to yourself that you still can. Take my neighbor Ray after his knee's surgery. He thought his days of puttering around in his workshop were over. But instead of giving up, he made small changes. A stool to sit on, better lighting, and tools within easy reach. And now, he's back to building birdhouses, feeling that same pride he always did. The lesson? Independence isn't about doing everything the exact same way. It's about finding new ways to do what matters to you. Now, these first 2 steps are all about shifting your mindset and reclaiming small victories. But there's more to it, because living fearlessly isn't just about what you do. It's also about what you stop doing. And that's exactly what we'll dive into next. You know, one of the biggest things I've learned from talking to hundreds of seniors over the years is this. The moment you stop waiting for permission to live life your way is the moment everything changes. And that brings us to our next key strategy. Because sometimes the biggest obstacle to feeling in control isn't your body or your circumstances. It's the stories you tell yourself. 3. Challenge the "I'm too old for this" mentality. How many times have you caught yourself saying, "I'm too old to start something new," or "That's for younger people"? Here's the hard truth. Every time you say those words, you're handing over a little more of your power. But what if you flip that script? Instead of "I'm too old to travel," try, "What's one trip I could take that feels manageable?" Instead of "I can't learn technology," ask, "What's one app or device that could make my life easier?" Small shifts in language lead to big shifts in mindset. Asterisk, let me tell you about my friend Helen. At 82, she decided she was tired of feeling left behind by technology, so she signed up for a beginner's tablet class at her local library. Was it frustrating at first? Absolutely. But within a few weeks, she was video calling her grandkids, ordering groceries online, and even joining virtual book clubs. And the pride in her voice when she said, "I did this myself," priceless. The lesson? You're never too old to expand your world. You just have to start where you are. Asterisk. 4. Build a yes and support system. Now, let's talk about the people around you. Because here's an uncomfortable truth. Some folks, even well-meaning family, can accidentally reinforce that helpless feeling. Maybe it's a daughter who insists on cutting your meat just in case. Or the friend who says, "At your age, shouldn't you take it easy?" That's why you need what I call a yes and team. People who say, "Yes, you can do this, and here's how we'll make it work." For example, when my client George wanted to keep living alone after his stroke, his doctor didn't just say, "Be careful." She said, "Yes, you can stay independent, and let's get you set up a medical alert system and balance exercises." His son helped modify the bathroom instead of insisting he move. That's the difference between being treated like a fragile object and being supported as a capable person. So take inventory. Who in your life empowers you? Spend more time with them. Who subtly undermines your confidence? It's okay to set gentle boundaries. Now, these two strategies, ditching the too old mindset and curating your support circle, are game changers. But there's one sneaky thing that often holds people back more than anything else, and that's exactly where we're going next. There's something I need to tell you, something most people never realize until it's too late. The difference between those who fade into helplessness and those who thrive in their later years isn't luck or genetics. It's this: thrivers refuse to let fear write their story. And that brings us to our most powerful strategies yet, because nothing robs us of control faster than unchecked fear. 5. Make friends with your fears, then outsmart them. Let me ask you something. When was the last time fear stopped you from doing something you wanted? Maybe it was fear of falling, fear of looking foolish, or that quiet voice whispering, "What if I fail?" Here's what I've learned. Fear doesn't disappear when you ignore it. It grows. But when you bring it into the light, That's when magic happens. Try this exercise right now. Grab a pen and paper. Write down one thing you've been avoiding because of fear. Now, ask yourself, what's the worst that could really happen? And more importantly, how could I make that manageable? For instance, if you're afraid to walk in the park alone, could you go with a friend the first few times? Or take a walking stick for confidence? My client Edna was terrified of traveling after her husband passed, until she booked a senior group tour where everything was arranged. She came home glowing, saying, "I didn't know I still had adventures left in me." Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's deciding something is more important than being afraid. And what's more important than your freedom? Your joy, your sense of self. 6. Create your still possible list. Asterisk, this final strategy might be the most life-changing of all. I want you to make what I call a still possible list. Not a bucket list of distant dreams, but a right now inventory of all the ways you can still shape your days. Start with this sentence. I may be 70 or 80 or 90, but I can still, and keep going, still learn to paint watercolors, still make new friends at the community center, still surprise my family with my sharp mind, still choose how I spend my mornings. Asterisk, here's why this works. Every time you feel helpless creeping in, you'll have physical proof of your power. My friend Lou keeps his list taped to the bathroom mirror. Some days it says simple things like, I can still brew the perfect cup of tea. Other days it's bolder. I can still speak up when something matters. That list isn't just paper. It's a rebellion against every voice, including your own, that says your best days are behind you. So here's my challenge to you today. Pick just one of these 6 strategies and try it this week. Maybe you'll start that still possible list or have an honest talk with a loved one about how they can support, not smother, your independence. Because here's the truth I want you to carry with you. Helplessness is a lie that age tries to sell us. But you're the author of this next chapter. And something tells me it's going to be your bravest one yet. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these strategies resonated most? Share in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear. If this video helped you, pay it forward by hitting that like button and sharing it with a friend who could use a boost. And of course, subscribe for more honest conversations about thriving at every age. Until next time, remember, the world needs exactly what you have to offer at exactly this stage of your life. Now go show them what fearless looks like.